This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on this Digital Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. The Leafs are back in action tonight as they wrap up a 3-game road trip in Utah. And Toronto comes into this one riding 3 losses in a row, which, I guess everything balances out, right? Life's about highs and lows, and they were on a high. So it only makes sense that we would be put through this. And because of those losses, they're now 4 points back of Florida for first in the Atlantic, and just a point up on Tampa for third. Over this mini losing skid, the Leafs have allowed 15 goals, including getting lit up for 7 by Colorado on Saturday. Well, you know what? We don't need to talk about that. Oh wait, actually this is a sports show, so yeah, we do. One thing you don't need to worry about with this team though is scoring. Austin Matthews had 3 assists in the latest loss, extending his point streak to 12 games. And you have to think his shooting percentage of 5.8% in that span is gonna improve. Mitch Marner's lit the lamp 5 times in his last 6, and he's on pace for his first 100-point campaign of his career. And speaking of Marner, well, he was almost dealt at the deadline for Mikko Rantanen. And yeah, the word almost is doing some heavy lifting here, but it was at least talked about, with Marner reportedly flexing his no movement clause, putting an immediate stop to any of those discussions, which all those sunglasses bros on Twitter were going off about because they just can't stand Mitchell Marner. Too bad. That's too bad. On the other side of the matchup, Utah is still in the wildcard race, going 6-3-1 in their last 10, and just 4 points behind Calgary for that final wildcard spot in the West. Clayton Keller has been single-handedly carrying his side to wins, as he has 28 points in his last 19 games. And Utah's gone 10-6-3 in that stretch. So yeah, a win tonight for them and handing the Leafs their 4th straight loss would go a long way toward maybe a postseason appearance. But I don't really want that to happen because I'm cheering for the Leafs, so do it on the next game, okay boys? To the NFL, and we're finally here, as NFL free agency has begun. Well, sort of. Technically it doesn't start until Wednesday, but as of noon today, the legal tampering period has begun, which is pretty much the start of free agency anyway. And moments ago, we got some major news that Sam Darnold is finalizing a 3-year deal with the Seahawks, reportedly worth close to $100 million. Now, that same contract was reportedly offered to Geno Smith, who turned it down and was then traded to the Raiders. So instead, they roll with Darnold, who's coming off a career year in Minnesota. And now that the Darnold domino has fallen, is Aaron Rodgers next? Well, maybe not Rodgers, but what felt like seconds later, Justin Fields agreed to sign with the Jets. A 2-year deal for $40 million, which just seems crazy because he couldn't even beat out Russell Wilson for the starting job in Pittsburgh last year. The biggest name to sign today, though, was Chris Godwin, who's sticking around in Tampa, signing a 3-year, $66 million deal. Okay, now let's catch you up on what happened over the weekend, because there were some massive paydays. Let's start with the MVP. Josh Allen had the last 4 years of his contract ripped up and was given a new deal for 6 years and $330 million. The $250 million guaranteed is the most money ever in NFL history, but that $55 million AAV is second in the NFL to Dak Prescott, who makes $60. And speaking of most money ever, Myles Garrett, as he got a new deal averaging $40 million a year, by far the most ever for a player that is not a quarterback. And the big money did not stop there. DK Metcalf was traded to the Steelers for a 2nd-round pick, as well as some late-round swaps. Then he signed a 5-year, $150 million deal with the Steelers. Now that's big money for Metcalf, who's a good receiver. But is he in the same class as the others in the top 5 with the same AAV? We're not too sure about that one. And we'll finish with Devontae Adams, as he's heading to the Rams on a 2-year deal for $46 million with 26 of it guaranteed. Time now for my favorite segment on yours, We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
But honestly, we should rename this segment today to Let's Make Marissa Cry with this sad video. Wait, what? No. Because this dog didn't win the race, but won our hearts. I'm already crying.
Oh! Yeah, we got a winner! Give it up for the Razorback fans! What a great little corgi! The winner in the first heat was Goose. And that was yummy.
Okay, let's get something less emotional and a little more fun. The University of Nebraska Omaha is heading to the NCAA tournament. And to celebrate their trip to the big dance, they took it out on a trash can. Wait, hold on. What kind of setup is this? Just so people who aren't aware how this segment works, my producer writes a script. I haven't seen the videos yet. Okay, so the way I'm delivering it seems like I know it's coming. I don't. we've seen some weird celebrations in our day. This is gonna go up there for me. I don't get it like that. To the association, and if the MVP was not locked in already, it is now. And the odds reflect that, as SGA is now minus 600 after his recent beatdown of the Nuggets, with Jokic sitting at plus 430. But guess what? The two MVP favorites are going head-to-head again tonight. A game you can watch on TSN. Shai dropped a 40-piece on Denver yesterday afternoon, which was his third straight 40-point game. And this stat is crazy. SGA is one of 2 players over the last 40 years to have 30 points in 40 or more games, over 3 straight seasons. Can you guess who the other player is? Michael Jordan! It's truly amazing what we're seeing from SGA this season. And it's not just Shai, I mean, look at the standings. OKC has a comfortable 12-game lead in the conference, and Gilgeous-Alexander is by far the frontrunner for MVP. Now let's get to the playoffs to see what this team is really capable of. Now joined by our guy Jesse Pollock from the picturesque mountains in Italy. Let's see a little more of those scenic views.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more scenic than this, Risser. Just look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Sistieri, Italy.
Yes, Northern Italy is stunning. I know, okay? I've been there. Okay, Jesse, you're at Special Olympics World Winter Games Turin. Opening ceremony was Saturday, so what else have you seen so far?
So things are just getting started. We got to watch cross-country divisionals today, and now we're about to watch Team Canada train in snowshoeing, which I'm really looking forward to seeing because I don't really know how snowshoeing works. Stay tuned, might make a video on that soon, but yeah, lots of action to look forward to.
Honestly, I'm also interested in snowshoeing. It looks like one heck of a workout, I'll say that. But what's the one event you're most looking forward to seeing?
You know, as a hockey guy, I have an appreciation for skating, of course, so I'm looking forward to seeing the speed skating. I got to try speed skating in Calgary at the last Winter Games, and it was hard, hurt my ankles. I have a lot of respect for all the athletes, but those athletes, it's quite incredible to see the speed skating, so let's see how Canada does there.
Definitely excited for that one too. Okay, you know we gotta finish on food, so what has been your best meal so far?
Oh, you know I've been munching a ton of carbs, Risser, but the meal that has stood out to me, definitely the carbonara that I had, put my stomach in an absolute blender, literal trampoline in there, but it was unbelievable, so rich, and I had some great bruschetta, and been hammering some nice desserts out here too. I had a great piece of chocolate cake, so stay tuned throughout the week. So honored to be here covering this for TSN, Special Olympics Canada, lots of great action ahead. You
didn't do the carbonara right, okay? You have to have an aperitivo, and then you have to have a digestivo. Like, what are you even doing out there, brother? Jesse Pollock, a pleasure as always. We will chat again Wednesday.
Ciao, Risser.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Ciao. Guy goes to Italy once. Listen, if he doesn't start talking with his hands, forget about it. That's it from Video Surfer tomorrow, 3 Eastern, New Pacific. Have a good one.